God here, and today we're bringing back one of Naruto's Prodigy, since it was pretty well received with 340 something likes and 24 likes and 340 something views. So yeah, we're gonna bring this one back for this video. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a little while, but yeah, with that said, let's get into the video. So on my last upload, I accidentally made it to where the last few minutes were kind of distorted. You couldn't really hear. So basically what happened was Naruto was fighting Kakashi, and he accidentally used the flying Raijin jutsu that he saw on the scroll ceiling. He did this by putting wind chakra into his fourth Hokage kunai that he took. And yeah, he basically just teleported and knocked himself out and got his team to get promoted. So we leave off here. Kakashi would send them home for the day, telling them all that they all passed. And he would still think to himself, how did he know Sensei's jutsu? How did he use it? It takes 3 high-level Anbu just to use it at all. It shouldn't be possible. He doesn't say, then again, I guess it is kind of like father like son. He must be a very, very, very awesome ninja. He must be like Minato Sensei. He would then continue to stroll home and leave the thought out of his mind. The next few weeks would consist of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura doing some heavyweight training, with Naruto being pushed to his limits as to hopefully try to bring out the inner Minato. Sasuke would actually get a little bit jealous of this and actually would try to keep up a little bit with Naruto, because Naruto is a pretty big driving force and was always keeping his team cheery and bright. So yeah, Naruto would just make sure his team was all doing good and would continue to train his butt off to make sure he was strong for the upcoming Chunin exams. That would happen in 5 months. They would then all get restless, especially Naruto and Sasuke, but Sasuke more, as he was striving to prove himself, to prove that he was better than Naruto. He would then ask Kakashi if they could just ask for a C rank. All these D ranks were lowering his skill better than not raising them at all. Kakashi would then say, oh, alright, I suppose. I'll ask if we can get some C rank missions for you guys, since you guys are pretty restless, I assume. Naruto would actually hide his pleasure, but he would actually smile on the inside and be very happy about this. Sasuke would then say thanks Kakashi, with Sakura kind of being like, oh man, I don't know if I'm ready for this. C ranks only after a month, I'm still a rookie, you know. And then Naruto and Sasuke would then tell her to shush, as they would actually want to prove themselves to Kakashi as good ninja. So as y'all know, they would get the Tazuna mission in the Land of Waves. This would actually start out basically the same, except for he wouldn't really be making fun of Naruto, because Naruto just has this like kind of look of power or knowledge of some sort to him, and he feels that he should not be trifled with, as Naruto is actually probably one of the stronger Genin, with only probably like people like Neji and Lee being able to stand up to him. So yeah, he would just start talking with Tazuna as to try to make some chide chatter and make sure he wanted to take them on for the mission, along with Sasuke. Kakashi would then say that they were going to head out ASAP. Tazuna would then say, fine with me. Hopefully these pipsqueaks are enough to protect me. They'd then set off for the mission. It'd be a bright day and no clouds in the sky. They would be walking and they would see a puddle, which Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi would all think is out of place. They'd continue to walk past it when 2 demon brothers would then suddenly jump out of the puddle, seemingly killing Kakashi. They would then charge at Tazuna, and Naruto and Sasuke would actually intercept, defeating them. Kakashi would then come out of his hiding and congratulate them both on defeating 2 legendary Chunin of the Land Hidden in Mists. Naruto and Sasuke would actually not show any outside happiness Although Naruto would actually make one of those weird things like Sakura does, where she's like, "Cha, yeah." Except for Naruto would just be like, "Yes, I am good." Sasuke is sort of doing something similar. Then you continue on with the mission until a giant executioner's blade would come flying over them. This being Zabuza's sword. Zabuza would then land on top of it, declaring a fight, and if they surrender now, he'll let him leave. All he wants is Tazuna. Kakashi would then say, "Naruto, Sasuke, stay back, I got this one." He would then fight Zabuza for a little bit, scrapping with him a little, until eventually he'd actually get caught in a water prison jutsu, when Naruto and Sasuke would actually have to do a similar plan as in canon to get him out, using a hidden shuriken shadow thingy. That's a giant shuriken. So yeah, they would actually Kakashi out, and then he would proceed to body Zabuza, and then Haku would come in and save him, seemingly killing him, and then actually just saving him. Kakashi would then fall to the ground due to Sharingan exhaustion, and Tazuna would actually be like, "Okay, I guess I can take them in for a little while, since they are to protect me anyways." They would all then head back to Tazuna's house, and 2 days later, Kakashi would actually just be waking up from his Sharingan exhaustion, and yeah. So Naruto would actually ask him if he's okay, Sasuke doing the same, and to all their relief, he would be fine. Naruto would actually be like, "Okay, Kakashi, he kind of outclassed us. Is there any way you can like train us to like be better than them?" He was then like, "Okay, there's a few little training tricks I can teach you." So he'd then teach them tree walking, and they would all actually finish a little bit faster than canon. So he would actually teach them water walking as well. So yeah, they all know tree walking and water walking, improving their chakra control. He would actually start on teaching them some other techniques as to finding out some chakra natures. So he would actually find out Naruto's chakra nature is wind, and since he isn't really a master at wind, he would actually just teach him the splitting the leaf technique, and perhaps like the waterfall thing of just pressing out wind chakra and just kind of making his chakra more strong. Sakura would actually learn a level of genjutsu known as the Sakura Blossom, and Sasuke would actually just work on unlocking his Sharingan, which he would actually unlock at the one Tomoli state in each eye. And then they would eventually end up to the bridge day, where Naruto was actually not late, but would actually leave some security guards for, you know, the family of Tazuna. They would all then end up fighting with Kakashi versus Zabuza, and Sasuke and Naruto versus Haku, which would actually start out as Haku versus Naruto, since Naruto actually kind of wanted to take the lead and practice his new skills on Haku, as he is actually stronger than, you know, Sasuke. So yeah. Also, disclaimer, Naruto actually already knew his thing was wind. He was just working on things to like make sure it's like he could make his own jutsu in the future. That's what Kakashi was kind of aiming for. Since he couldn't teach Naruto any wind jutsu, he was actually just trying to make sure he like could possibly make another wind jutsu in the future. So he was teaching the waterfall cutting technique. So yeah, now that that's over, we get back to the fight. Naruto's fighting Haku, and he's actually pretty on par, since he's actually really fast. He actually doesn't really feel confident enough to actually try the flying Raijin yet, because he's actually not that good at it. He can only teleport, and it takes a lot of setup time. So he doesn't actually try doing that. Also, he's kind of in an ice prison mirror right now, so he can't really get out of that anyways. He then actually fight Haku, and actually almost beat him until he put out the ice mirrors, like I said, and would actually just proceed to body him, with Sasuke actually jumping in and actually protecting Naruto, who he thought was dead, and he would actually get to Tsujumoli in each eye instead of just 2 in one and 1 in the other. So Sharingan would actually be more advanced in this timeline, as he sees one of his rivals / friends seemingly dead. He would then actually end up fending off Haku and actually be the one to beat Haku, actually not killing him. Zabuza would actually still get killed, and by remnants, Haku would also try saving his life, and Zabuza would die the same way as canon. So with that being said, Naruto and the gang would actually find out that Naruto is still alive, and Sasuke would actually be pretty happy but show no outer emotion towards it. They would all then just wait for the next few weeks training and getting their stats up, all of them probably getting about a 1.5 times multiplier over the next 2 or 3 weeks that it took to finish the bridge. Tazuna would then end up still naming it the Great Naruto Bridge, as Naruto would actually have been like the one that would have like been like making sure, and he actually did a lot of the brunt fighting. And showed everyone what it was like to be strong and be a hero. So yeah, it would still be called the Great Naruto Bridge. And they would actually then head home, leaving Naruto with his own thoughts. A few months later, Naruto and Sasuke have gotten a whole bunch of good training, and even evolved Sasuke's Sharingan to 3 Tomoe in one eye and 2 Tomoe in the other eye. And Naruto is actually still slightly stronger, and has actually learned a few good techniques in preparation for the training exams, especially one of his bloodline, not from his mother's side, a jutsu that his father created and mastered, learning 2 jutsu in total from his father. He would then actually continue walking with Konohamaru playing ninja with him, when Konohamaru would bump into Kankuro, who would actually then try bullying Konohamaru, which Naruto would actually just teleport to Konohamaru, as he has a seal on all of his close friends, and he would teleport to Konohamaru, punching Kankuro in the face, surprising Kankuro and Tamari, as it was like he was a blur, a flash. Gaara would then silently move to Kankuro, telling him that he's making his village look bad. If he doesn't step up his game, he's going to kill him. Naruto would then ask what they're doing here, and then thinking he was an idiot for himself asking that question, as he knew the training exams were coming up very soon. He would then say, "Never mind. It's good and nice to meet you guys. But here's a little word of advice. When you're coming into a foreign village, I would recommend not trying to bully the grandson of the Hokage." Kankuro would then facepalm, realizing he was an idiot, and apologize to Konohamaru. Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura would actually all be pretty ready for the training exams, as Sakura would actually know like 4 genjutsu, and so her Asuna is already way better, over an infinite amount of times better, as 0 times infinity is still 0, so the level between her and now is completely different. And with that being said, guys, this is What If Naruto Was a Prodigy Part 2. I'm sorry that the music was really bad in the last part of the very last, like, 2 minutes of it. I'm sorry. But with that being said, guys, Anime God, actually made me this awesome profile pic. And, yeah, shout out to him. His link will be in the description. Later, guys, for reals.